We're going to organize our meditation slightly differently today. I want everyone who sits with me regularly to know you can do whatever you want. You can use this time and group to follow your instinct to meditate how you feel is most useful. And my guidance is going to be fairly broad, so you may be able to move within that guidance in the direction you want anyways. We're going to move through 3 layers of existence, of experience, and you can stop at any layer you want, just stay there, even as we move through the others. The first broad layer is what is activated now, what exists now in our experience, what is prominent. What can you sense is a good way to put it. And so we just start with that general direction. We're opening ourselves to what is present now. Meditation is concentration and acceptance, and here we are giving our concentration a very broad target. If you need to, you can narrow it down, but it's a very broad target. It's whatever you're sensing right now, whatever sensory experience you're having right now. And we're just trying to accept this is what's here right now. For those who have done see, hear, feel, you could do that kind of practice where you just label each sensation as it arises, see or hear or feel. Including interior sounds, things that our mind is saying to us, interior images, things our mind is showing us, interior feels, emotional qualities that are inside our body. We're going to move through 3 layers, but already this first layer, although if you've been meditating for a while, it seems very normal. This is what we do. It's still revolutionary compared to how we normally interact with the world. We normally are actually barely aware of what we're sensorially experiencing. We're usually living in a story of where we have to get to or where we have to get away from. And I want you to taste when you actually taste the present moment sense. And you just feel the difference when you come into a present moment experience. I really feel my body on the seat. I really hear that voice or that distraction in the other room or the silence in the room. I'm really feeling whatever's going on in my chest. My mind might call it sadness and may have a whole story about it. But I'm actually noticing, oh, it's actually a pressure. It's a heat. Rather than immediately trying to change our experience, or fix our experience, or judge our experience, we are practicing seeing it as it is, accepting it, allowing it to be. Now you can work on this layer by picking one object if you want. You can just focus on your breath, or you can focus on the ground you feel beneath you. You can focus on any sensory experience you want and make that your object. That's a special case of what we're doing now. And if you find yourself finding it very difficult to stay with what is in your sensory world, then you should pick one object and really work on that one. One object that is peaceful, one object that is noticeable. And you use your concentration to keep bringing yourself back to that present moment sensory experience. As you get more familiar with what it feels like to be in your senses, you can start to let your attention wander a little bit more, or focus on more difficult objects, and continue practicing accepting what is. So you hear my voice, and it has a pitch, and it has a direction, and it has a loudness. And you feel your feet on the ground, and you notice a thought about tomorrow or yesterday, and it's a sound in the head. You notice some tightness or difficulty in your chest, or some discomfort in your back. The attention just keeps wandering through the fields of what is. Just don't go to sleep. Inviting you to the national park of what is. Taken a beautiful trip to the national park, and I don't want you thinking about your work call. I want you to notice and look around. The sounds of your thoughts might be there, but those are present moment experiences. This is the first layer, activated sensory experience. Actual activation of your nervous system. There's some discomfort, there's some noises, there's some pleasure. There's a beautiful feedback mechanism in that if you're willing to pay close attention. Your whole experience feels different when you taste the present moment, even if it's just for a second. Once you've tasted that, see if you can make it last for 2 seconds. Now we're doing a fairly advanced meditation today. You're welcome to stay here. So much benefit to be had from becoming awake to the activated sensory experience. That is, the things that are prominent and available to your sensory apparatus right now. Gone to the national park, and I want you you can just play and walk and hike and look around. But you're not taking photos for tomorrow. You're not analyzing. You're just experiencing. And for those who want to move into the second layer, we're going to move into the second layer now. So those are activated states we just attended to. We're now going to move into rest states. Those are parts of our experience, our sensory apparatus, which are at their ground floor. So they could also call them ground states. Continuing to work with see, hear, feel, you may notice the blank space behind your eyelids. Now, there's still things to notice there, but it's as quiet as a visual space can get. We're starting to let go of the national park, and we're going back to our cabin and we're taking a nap is the way to think about this. A nice, restful nap. We aren't rejecting our activated experience. We're not rejecting the world outside. We're just taking a break. This can be very pleasant, just as it is sometimes pleasant to go sleep in the woods. Yeah, you're sleeping, but you know you're there. You know you're in the woods. Same thing here. We're attending to the rest state, the visual rest state, or we could attend to the auditory rest state, which is silence, the silence that sort of sounds like an ocean in our ears, a distant ocean. Those are all the little cilia of our hearing apparatus vibrating, waiting for something activating to happen. My voice only activates a small subset. The rest are at rest. And finally, you can do the same thing with your body. You can find just the sort of room temperature experience on your cheeks or your lips or down your spine. You can even feel into a rested muscle. Nothing's going on. There's no pain. Just into your thighs, for instance. For most people, I would recommend picking one of these three areas: see rest, hear rest, or feel rest, and focusing on that today. Again, as you get more experienced with this, you can start experiencing all three at the same time. And it's very much like going into a sensory deprivation tank without having to go anywhere, just by using your concentration. If you want to use a label to help your concentration, you could use a label like rest. 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 At any given moment, most of your nervous system is at rest, but we are aggressively trained by biology, evolution, and culture to be addicted to activated sensory experience. So when you start to really tune into this, you'll start to notice that rest is bigger. It is the container, it is the context for the rest of your experience. Your thoughts arise out of silence and they go back into silence. Your sensations, emotions arise out of a restful body and go back into a restful body. Rest. When we start to give equal prominence to the restful experiences in our body, we will start to have a more restful experience. Under restful states are just the ground states of our senses. They're just the lowest level of activation while still having a sense. So if your eyes are open, you could just sort of unfocus your eyes. If your eyes are closed, you look at the back of the eyelids, but you could go even further. You could look for a dark patch or a light patch that just has one color tone. You can relax into the rest state. This is layer 2. For those who wish, we can move on to layer 3. As always, you're welcome to stay with whatever is working for you. Layer 1 were activated states. Layer 2 is ground states, rest states. Layer 3 are zero states. These are places where there is no activation at all. You're letting go of your sensory apparatus. Don't let the mind get confused. I will give you guidance. But just start to loosen your grip. On the sensory world. And there's sort of multiple doorways into this kind of experience. I'll just give you a few. I think probably the easiest one is in the feel world. I invite you to feel the space around your body. So go to the edge of your feeling body, and then go an inch further or a foot further. So all around your head is space. Notice that as you feel into that space, it's empty of sensation. You're now turning your attention to a zero state. That is a state of zero sensation. I want you to notice that that space around your head goes off to the left for infinity, goes off to the right to infinity, goes up above to the sky and on to infinity, and beyond, I want to say, and down below. So there is an infinite empty space around your head that you can feel, that you can't feel, that you can feel, that you can't feel. There's space around your throat. The sensation arises in space. The rest arises in space. Sensation around your chest. That sensation arises in space. Infinite space. Space without end. The concentrating mind, this is the most challenging. It's okay if you just get glimpses. If you're just practicing standing on the edge of nothing, and looking out into that space. There's space around your belly and lower back. Just relax. You don't need to hold on. There's space down around the lower belly and the sacrum and the pelvic floor. You may start to realize how much your attention is holding you together. It's like your attention actually keeps your body in its skin. So just release, stop holding on. You don't need to hold the world together. Turn your attention to the zero state of the space around you. Go 2 feet off your body, go 3 feet, go 10 feet off your body. Feel the back of your room, feel the front of your room. Feel the space above your house. This feels imaginative at first, but that imagination is just to direct you to the zero state. That is, that there is no feeling there. Emptiness around the legs. There's space around the legs, all the way down to the feet. There's space around the feet. Our normal beginning practice of going into the ground is an example of directing you towards zero states. What does the earth feel like 50 feet down into the earth? Not asking you to imagine what it feels like if you go down 50 into the feet and like muck around in the dirt. I'm asking you to feel it right now with your sensations, with your feeling sensation. And you can do it as long as you accept that some feelings have zero experience. What you're moving into in zero states is the field of awareness. You're moving into the rest state of awareness itself. You're letting go of the sensory world and dropping into the much bigger, infinite space of awareness. Now we can do the same with our seeing space and our hearing space. You can try to hear the center of the earth. You can try to listen to your bones. You direct your attention towards true silence, towards zero silence, towards a zero state. As with the other ones, I advise you to pick one modality and stay with that, unless this is something you're used to doing. If you can spend even a full moment in a zero state, you get a reset of your whole nervous system. It's as if you've turned it on and restarted the whole program. Any patterns can unwind in that turn it on, turn it off again moment. In Buddhism, this is called stream entry. Now, if you found yourself working really hard, it's okay, especially if it's new-ish. Just take a minute here to let go of any effort. Find out what has happened to your attentional energy. When you let go of control now, where does your attention go? Let it go there. As you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the room as you wish. As always, allowing yourself to, in this case, come back into the sensory experience. Allow your body to move, maybe touch your body, give yourself a hug, stretch. Just notice if your mind wants to immediately go into some story about something, you don't have to ever stop meditating. You just do have to start moving. And so we do that for a little bit or longer. You can get up and jump around, do whatever you want.